Hi, I'm glad you clicked this video. Yep, because I want to challenge you as a leader. I want to challenge you with the idea that your intuition, the innate intuitive intelligence, can be one of the most powerful tools that you embrace, especially for those of you who call yourself a leader, or you own a business, or you run a business. I'm Kathy Fitz, and most people in business call me Fitz, and you can call me Fitz too. I'm a serial entrepreneur, an author, CEO, mentor, coach, confidant, and I know how to harness the power of intuition and use it as my personal guidance system for my work, my personal life, and the most important tool that I have. I use it because without it, I could not have weathered the times in my life that were extremely challenging, or the moments that I faced of uncertainty, or had to embrace unexpected changes, or simply just finding my heart's passion and direction. Now, a lot of people will ask me, what is intuition? Well, first of all, we all have it. It's the ability to understand immediately something without having the data or analysis. You just know, it's this inner knowing. Now, that's scary for many of us who are making, big impactful decisions. I get that. You might say, hey, Fitz, isn't that just like shooting from the hip? Couldn't that create some crazy decisions and get us in trouble, or lead us, down the wrong path or a rabbit hole? I get those comments, and we as leaders, we have to mitigate our risks, and we have to use the critical thinking and come up with the answers that are going to provide directions. And that's where I want to challenge you. Yes, because intuition is one of the most important tools to help you with all of your decisions, along with the critical thinking, the data, the analysis. All of it is what you need to pull together. And if you find yourself thinking, yeah, but it's unproven, or you're lumping it with something that's unseen, intangible, something, I can't touch, I can't understand, I can't track it, you say, well, I'm going to prove you're wrong. Yeah, because there is an energy in rooms sometimes when you walk into it, something that you can't see and touch, and we build our cultures trying to get that good vibe among our workforce. Empowerment's a feeling, it has some energy, a sense, and it's something that we try our best to create workforces where our people can empower themselves and become the best version of who they are. And that's not something we can see, but it's something we can actually measure. How about prayers? We can see people praying, maybe on their knees or at an altar. And yes, we can see the act, but the prayer in action, that's something we can't see. And even a better case would be something like the air we breathe, right? Or the heart, that's beating every second. We're not saying beat, beat, beat. It's just happening. What is that? It's the innate intuitive intelligence. I also want to take you back long before the time of scientists and think about that thing that's up in the sky, that sun. Well, our ancient ancestors, they relied on the sun. They knew it was an amazing tool. They used it for fire. They used it to keep their bodies warm, to grow plants, to give them direction. And yet they had no clue how it worked. They never could touch it. That's how intuition is. The sun was just so accepted. It was a tool that could never be reckless. And intuition needs to become a tool. It's one of the most powerful tools that you can use, and you need to become familiar with it. You need to know how to use it, how to discern when it's intuition that you're receiving, and not just simply your mind or the thoughts or the analysis getting in the way. One of the things that's recent in the world of Harvard is they did a study in the school. They did some research, and they surveyed over 1,000 senior executives. And what they found out is that organizations that are driven by data are 3 times more likely to report significant improvements compared to those that didn't track data. That was interesting. But what they really discovered and got revealed in the study was that there were times that the executives couldn't rely on data and analysis when it came to kind of painting that big full picture. It was during those times that they were addressing issues that tended to be more ambiguous and abstract. And that's when they had the ability to tap into their intuition, and it became something that they added to the critical decision making. Intuition can be the opposite of reason sometimes. I understand that. We don't think of it as something that can be measured like, data. Yet when data isn't available, or we still don't have the answer, we can act on our innate intuitive guidance system. I mean, we have seen miracles. We can see calculated decisions made on this inner knowing. It might be something that we didn't yet ever experience. That's called innovation and ideation and invention. And sometimes, we have all found ourselves saying it, or maybe someone saying, wow, if I just had it made that last quick snap decision, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity. Or, wow, it really was lucky that I went in that other direction. If I hadn't picked up the phone and I had that nudge to pick up the phone and make the call, we wouldn't have had the probability that we could get this amazing opportunity. This is where potentiality and opportunities often lie. It's in this courage to embrace that which is called the intelligence of intuition. And as a successful serial entrepreneur and author who leads leaders to new heights and awareness, I want to invite you to step closer and open the door to your own intuition. Yeah. And most of you have heard it. You've used these words. You may have even placed it into the framework of looking at it as like ESP, or it's your religion or spirituality or psychic world. I want to give you an update. Call it wisdom and start to begin to master tapping into your intuition, because it's an amazing tool and it'll give you this wisdom over and over and over again. In my next book in the Heartbeat series, I have a book that I'm going to call Intuit Thru It. And I hope this book, along with everything that I offer you today, will remove the stigma of intuition as being woo-woo. My goal is to reach as many leaders I can and connect them with this wisdom and use it to intuit through any situation. And I literally mean any situation. The challenges, the surprises, the creation of your life and purpose, the hunches, the nudges that you're getting, the wonderments of why, this knowing that all of a sudden you have. Name it and claim it as your innate intuitive intelligence, and it's your guidance system for you. And once you master it, you're going to think, how did I not know of this? Why was I not taught this? Well, probably because you just weren't taught intuition in class or in Sunday school. Maybe you went to some of the top universities that teach it, or have read some of the studies. But I'm here now today to help you give it a name and you get comfortable with it and use it, how to indoctrinate it into your belief system. And how do you recognize it? You got to figure that out. I'll help you out. How you listen to it, how you talk with it. I want you to make notes of what you begin to learn, the awareness, the perspectives. I want you to implement on the nudges and the hunches and track them. Yeah, track them. Most people that I come across have not been taught this intuitive way to think and feel and use it in their life. And again, whatever you call it works. You can call it anything: God, Holy Spirit, prana, universe, my higher self. I just want to show you that you can use it for indecision. Maybe being racked with fear when you're facing uncertainty. Maybe when you're getting really stressed out, and there's so many drama areas in your life. Maybe you're heartbroken, or you're feeling stuck, or you just can't seem to get over an obstacle and pursue what it is that you want to pursue. Even our gut senses pain, right? And I want you to know pain is inevitable, but suffering is not. We don't have to suffer forever. We can take a painful situation and intuit through it. It's the best way to remove suffering out of your life so that you can lead a life and live a life the way that your heart desires. And that's one reason why I want to bring you this message. Yeah, I know each of you have said, or maybe, I'm sure everybody here has said that's listening to this, I'm getting a bad vibe. We throw in the words, oh, wow, that was luck. Lucky I did that. I'm here to tell you, it's not luck. And yes, it is vibes. It's vibes, it's hunches, it's nudges, it's knowing. I guarantee 100% of the time, you'll ignore it unless you advance your awareness and knowledge of it. Funny thing, we have pets. I have a dog, and so our pets are intuitive. I know my dog is intuitive. How she knows that I'm going to be coming home an hour before I arrive, I don't know. But just watch any dog, and they'll tell you exactly that intuition works. There's many studies that have shown that leaders who use their intuition in leadership make tremendous strides. They make better decisions. And why is it? It's because your intuition can point you in the right direction. You can learn how to communicate with it, and you can discern what it is versus your mind, and where you're getting analysis paralysis. It's great to have that inner knowing. And I understand This isn't something that we talk about in the business world. That's why I'm doing this video. I'm going to make that change. I'm hoping we can advance the awareness and have that conversation. I have a name for my innate intuitive intelligence. I call mine wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. And I spend time listening to its prompts, its guidance, its inner knowing, and I write it down. I act on those prompts. I track those prompts. I call those my daily downloads. I have stacks of journals where I've recorded this wisdom and proved that it works, going back decades. And if only you could work with your thinking mind, the data, the analysis, and make choices with the intuitiveness and the being able to intuit through it, you could begin to resonate things that you're doing in life with your heart and the needs of your heart. Forever, I have been the voice of what I call heart-based leadership. It was the very first book that I wrote. And often people would say, oh, Fitz, you're just talking about that woo-woo stuff, And now it's pretty well accepted in my Heartbeat series, and I've, just added 4 more books to it. Heart-based leaders go within. They check the intuitive gut. They tap into the energy of the heart. They go gut, heart, and then to the mind. They know how to use imagination, and it comes from the intuitiveness. Imagination, it's something that Einstein used, and he coupled, obviously, imagination with intuition and embraced things that he could have never come up with by looking at data because the data didn't exist. So what happens when you use your intuition, your life becomes kind of like this journey of new awareness all the time. You experience, drama, but you don't have to be part of the drama because the intuition's giving you awareness and wisdom and new perspectives. You're not going to be missing opportunities because of indecision. You're not going to, have this mindset of scarcity because intuition's going to help settle some of your negative thoughts that create that worry and fear because you're going to have new insights and perspectives on things. You're going to have this inner knowing of situations. So you end up spending less time worrying about the emotional decision and wondering about, doing the right thing over and over again. And, when you're running into the days that are bumpy and, you get spinning and you're reliving tough situations, it's going to happen. But you can connect with your intuition, and it's going to help you absorb a lot of information and get clarity and insights, new perspectives sorted out. You're going to be able to see people and circumstances differently with this wisdom that is with you all the time. And instead of getting stressed out, you're actually going to become kind of infected with the urge to seek the wisdom and go inside. And you won't necessarily have to run, to some church or spiritual group or, a place of worship because it's right here. And I'm not saying don't do that. Those are great communities for growth and to be with like-minded peers. I'm just saying you have it all the time. And you got to face the days where you're feeling like, oh man, I screwed up, what a failure. And you don't understand why the experience was important. Now you start to understand the importance of every life experience. I call it life curriculum in my books. And I'm also not saying that if you begin to listen to your intuition, life is going to be like this, bowl of cherries and always happy and sunshine. No, it's the opposite. We always have the life curriculum to teach us the lessons and give us the wisdom, but the intuition is going to give you the insights and the perspective of around the wisdom that you're going to be receiving as you go through life's course curriculum. So if you're a leader and you'd like to get a clearer understanding of these things, you just need someone to help you. Open the door, explain it, coach you, mentor it, affirm it, guide you, be that guide as you are going through this. Validate those experiences for sure. Maybe, someone who doesn't really care what your belief system is because that individual, like myself, knows it works in all belief systems. I would love to be able to support you, and I know you'll enjoy the energy of having someone stand side by side as you bring intuition into your life and start to experience that joy. You're going to also have someone guide you as new doors get opened, and you just might wonder, how is the walk going to be like? Well, it's being able to have someone walk with you in the early stages of where you are intuiting through it, through every situation you face. And you can take your intuition and then add it to that data and the analysis. And just know, I've completed traditional school. I've done religious studies. I've built successful businesses. I have a stellar reputation within the business world. And it was a long journey of many decades of me trying to understand this internal guidance system. I was born an empath, and I always say God made me special in regards to having some sensory perception around things that others don't. However, as I began to really understand how to use it, I also understood everybody has this. They just aren't necessarily guided on how to use it. So I invite you to step forward and own your own intuition. Yeah. Bring it forward. Recognize the nudges and the hunch. And most of you, if you do know my reputation and my work, I do look always to take something on where I really want to make a difference in the world. And I am looking for, groups of people that can really be dedicated, invest in this, take the time with the commitment to learn how to use it, and let me be the conduit to help open up their thinking and their feelings around this, and understand that I can guide them to where they use it as a daily tool. And what I'm calling this the 10x Intuit Thru It program. And 10x means obviously 10 times more you could experience having intuition as a tool than if you just didn't have it at all. And so I want you to discover with me your innate intuitive intelligence. I want you to learn how to download the wisdom. I want you to learn how to track it so that you can prove that it actually works. Obviously, along that path, you're going to gain new perspectives and new ideas. You're going to get a deeper level of understanding around things that you literally just could not imagine at all. And so let's connect. You're not going to be alone doing this adventure. I've done some of that, and it's difficult without having someone who is somewhat of, the teacher around that which you seek. And just remember, others have embraced this all the time and talked about it. Albert Einstein, Steven Spielberg, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Mother Teresa, Louise Hay. They all have said intuition was a major tool that they used in their work and in their life. So here's what you do. Click the button below, and there's several ways that I can work with you, and I can help teach you and coach you and mentor you and advance your awareness of this amazing tool. All you need to do is click the button. You'll get into my calendar, book something on my calendar, and we'll do a little bit of an intuitive insights meeting, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me if you don't know me already. And maybe you could just end up not spinning the thoughts over and over again and going down a rabbit hole of data, and strap on the innate intuitive intelligence as a tool to really streamline things and get things rolling where you might feel like you're stuck. So let's change it. Let's change your leadership. Let's 10x your work, your life, your intuition. Click the button. I hope to see you very soon. And I am dedicating some time in the next few months to work with people like you. So if your intuition is nudging you now, click it. The teacher appears when the student's ready. So all I ask is, are you ready? If so, click the button. We'll talk soon on the other side.
Meet Kathy Fitz, a passionate and creative business mind, and an extraordinary connector of people. Using her intuitive gifts as a guidance system, Fitz always has multiple adventures in focus, both in the business world and in her personal life. She is a heart-based living and leading expert, CEO coach, mentor, confidant, author and founder of the leading heart community, and a serial entrepreneur. Stay connected with Fitz on her YouTube channel called Two Chicks That Spark the Heart, and connect with her on LinkedIn. Also join her Facebook group called Heart-Based Leaders Making a Positive Impact in the World. We look forward to connecting and hearing from you.